Purple Reels is watching. Purple Reels is watching. Purple Reels is watching. All right. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Purple Reels is Watching. So today we're going to start out with a film I checked out on Max, HBO Max, Hemingway and Gellhorn. Hemingway and Gellhorn. It was directed by Philip Kaufman, and it came out in 2012. It's a powerful drama that recounts one of the great love stories of the 20th century, the relationship between literary giant Ernest Hemingway and trailblazing war correspondent Martha Gellhorn, who's played by Nicole Kidman and Clive Owen Starr. A very dope movie. Well, they both were, writers. One was like covering war stories and all of that. I think they both were, actually. But it mixes intellect with passion, war, politics. There's some sparks, adventure, romance, stunning visuals with suspense to match. I thought it was heart-wrenching because, such is love sometimes. But when you have been passionate about something for so long, like such as, us creatives, and then you deal with this love aspect, and it's kind of like it's like that love overpowers that other love because that came first. And that's pretty much how I feel too. If I feel like my light is being dimmed, or I feel like that person's going to make me choose between my passion and you know what I mean, and them, I'm like, well. And I also like how it was kind of told, like, as an interview. Okay, now on to One Night in Miami. So this one, I know I'm a little late on it. It came out in 2020. It was directed by Regina King, available on Tubi. I thought that Muhammad Ali's character was hilarious. I was constantly laughing, even when, those serious moments between Malcolm and Sam Cooke, as you can see here. One Night in Miami with Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. The movie came out on Prime, rightfully so. It got so many awards, and congratulations to Regina King. It had great perspectives, the way that they set it up, whether it's fact or fiction, but we already know the story of how Malcolm and Muhammad Ali were close, and as he was transitioning to become a Muslim. The conversation, if you pay attention, between Sam Cooke and Malcolm X, it gives great perspectives on the times and views of society on Black people, and the weight that artists carry and people of influence. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself, I think, was brilliant. Just check it out. It's available free on Tubi. All right, this next movie, I didn't take too many notes on it. It looks like here, I put dates on my stuff now. So I watched this back in March 4th, 2025. One Woman's Trash is, wow. I heard stories about, women taking men for granted, which I really can't understand that if he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. I think it's basically about karma and, how the tables turn. And also I think it sheds light on mental instability, or some people have it in their mind that people owe them something. And I think in relationships, if people can just understand that that's not the case and everybody should come to each other whole. But this chick, man, I'm like, really? This guy? And also the fact that I didn't know this till later on in the movie, where, you find out that he's a photographer or a filmmaker or whatever. And it just goes to show that having that partner that supports you and, in your dream, without making these little sly comments or digs and acting like it's like, oh, you should give up because of whatever age, or all these little different things that people do. But I think that's stupid. The main thing I think when people do that is because they haven't found a passion themselves, and so they have to make you feel a certain kind of way. But the title gives it away anyway. One woman's trash, or one man's trash is somebody else's treasure, and that is so true. So we have to get to a point where we're okay with letting people go. If it comes, let it. If it goes, let it. That let it be theory. And that is also available on Tubi. Okay, now this one is similar. Right man, wrong woman. Okay, yeah, it's also available on Tubi. What I love about Tubi is you can sit back and watch, and then Tubi will pick the movie, because sometimes I get tired of trying to search for stuff, and it kind of goes off of what you were just watching. And then I was going through and reading some comments when watching another movie, like on my research is it encompasses a lot of things, not just watching the movie. This one I think is also about karma, loyalty, and trust, and also the themes when I say what it's about, and like real friends. A real friend is going to tell you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat. And then also the fact that the grass is not always greener on the other side. And fake friends. There's a difference between fake friends and frenemies. One of the characters in this film, like the girl, she does hair, the main character, and her dude, he's doing well for himself. He has a job, he's making it. It seems like they're headed towards, marriage at some point. I don't know, because he's setting up, she couldn't see it. So she has this one friend who's trying to tell her, hey, you have a good man. There's so many heavy twists in this movie, and I feel like the acting was phenomenal. And the fact that it's a Tubi original, it's like, wow. A B movie to me, it's like the quality is not as good. The audio, all this. Tubi is coming out with some quality movies, So one chick pops up. I guess she was one of her clients. For me, when I come in contact with people, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. People will act like they're for you, but then when they see you having some type of success, even if you can't see it yourself, like even this girl couldn't see that she had a good man, but there's women around sniffing around, watching and seeing and knowing, and then they put their little, and try to put their little wrench in it. I'm sure you've seen other movies. Someone got not upset, but they made a comment to where they're saying spoiler alert. Honestly, nowadays when they do the description, they're kind of giving you the spoiler right there. So I'm just making little comments. Either you watch it or you don't. I really don't. I do care, but I've been doing this for years. I'm gonna keep doing it, whether you feel it's a spoiler or not. I'm telling you why I think it's a good movie. How you know that it's a good movie too is like you can connect with the characters. It may not be all of them, but you'll be able to connect with that one character. You'll be rooting for them, but then if there's a twist, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that from. And then if they can get you invested into the character, you can see yourself. Like when I went to the Cannes Film Festival and I was talking to one of these directors, and he said that he was trying to shop his film. But it's an all black cast, and we're in Cannes, and this is global cinema, baby. So they're trying to basically so back then, I was at Howard and stuff, or I just graduated from Howard. My mindset was more, it still is like race and all this, and like the black image and all this. Not that I don't think about that anymore, but when you're talking about global cinema and money is involved, and they want to see themselves in the film. Then it just depends, I guess, on what producers or what company you're talking to, but they kind of want to see themselves in it. It just depends too then on your values, and then what you will accept as a filmmaker, director, whatever, for your film. You have to fight for that, even if that means, like Robert Townsend said, back when he was doing Hollywood Shuffle and all that, he ran up all his credit cards and did all that. Because that's what he wanted to do. It was that he had that much passion and wanted to see it through. Anyway, right man, wrong woman. You will be totally surprised at the ending of this movie. There's so many twists and turns. Tubi, I gotta give it to you. I gotta tip my hat. This movie, man. One night I came across this movie, A Good Man, a Tubi original. Whew. Came out in 2023. I really felt this movie, man. Like I really did. That's why you save the best for last, right? At least the ones I'm talking about. But I love how they promoted therapy in the movie as a positive asset to healing. So mental health is very important, after a breakup, things like that, or just anything you're dealing with in your life. So it just helps you basically to sort out your feelings, basically, and just get it all out. If you don't, as we can see in this movie, people don't deal with their hurt. Hurt people, I know you've heard that saying, hurt people hurt people. And they do. Yeah. And they'll bleed on other people because they have not done the inner work. We have to do that for ourselves. Oprah said one day, like, no, you don't complete me. Two people are supposed to be whole and come together. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's how that works. But if not, then you're going to be blamed if they haven't dealt with that. Their past, their exes and all that, they're going to blame you for things they think you're doing that reminds them of what that person did. Even if you're not doing shit. They will still be looking at you out the side of their eye and oh, you're too good to be true, or telling you all the reasons why you shouldn't want to be with them. Why do you even want to be with me? And if you hear that, you should run. Both characters were dealing with some baggage. One of them in the movie, the main character, he was actually doing therapy. Honesty, loyalty, and choices. Oh, yeah. And the other character who's reaping the benefits of this person, but still, you're holding it. Like, you should be done with your ex. If you're don't get out here and be dating. If you're not done with your ex, if you still want to talk about, nobody wants to hear that on a date. Like, nobody wants to hear that. When they're in a relationship with you, you constantly talking about what this person did. We're in something new, and you should be focused on that person. But if you're up here, it's not together. It's like, and there has to be a balance. The questions that you have will be answered, in the second one. But it's like, I started to think, how can they make a second one after this? And then I was like, whoa, I will tell you this. If you like horror, if you like all that kind of, that's all, that's all. But I just feel like, again, Tubi is doing an excellent job with these originals. I just feel like it was an excellent movie to show. Hurt people. And we need to do the work before we enter into anything else, because you're putting that person in jeopardy, their life, and then they will have to heal and all that. And it's a process, you know what I'm saying? It is a process. It's a beautiful process once you do the work, and then you will start to attract a different type of person. So A Good Man 1 and 2 available on Tubi. This next and last category is new and noteworthy. New films I saw in the theater or wherever I saw them. First on the list, Jonathan Majors in Magazine Dreams. That movie was excellent. I just felt like it was an excellent movie and put him back on the map, Robert De Niro in Alto Nights, where Robert De Niro is playing two characters in the same movie. And I felt like he really did his thing as usual. They tell the story through like him giving an interview / narration. Also, of course, I already talked about Sinners, but I did it in a different way after I saw the movie. Excellent movie. Michael B. Jordan is also playing two characters in that film. One of my favorite scenes in Sinners was the music scene where they go through the different eras and showing how Black people ultimately influenced all music. That particular scene, the camera movement is just like seamless and beautiful and sexy to me. The other movie that I would compare that to as far as the camera movement is, if you want to, Casino. You need to watch that movie and you will see what I'm talking about. Also, I saw this a couple months back, this movie called A Complete Unknown, which is about Bob Dylan, all the things that he dealt with. Some of those scenes were great as far as showing what musicians really deal with. And of course, they go into the whole love life thing. It just is what it is with a musician. Whether you agree or not, we know what it is. Nickel Boys was excellent. The cinematography that came out 2024. Unstoppable, which is available on Prime, which is about a wrestler who became great even though he only had one leg. Holland is a good movie. It's a horror film that's available on Prime. Opus, it's not what you expect. I would compare it to 𝘧𝘂𝗍𝘳 as far as the not what you expect. Companion was good as well. That has a major twist too. Oh, I just watched these movies. So, The Shallow Tale of a Writer Who Decided to Write About a Serial Killer. I mean, you're going to have to figure out where you can watch that because I have my ways. It's like a writer who's struggling. He's writing a novel, but then he runs into a retired serial killer, and yeah. So then the last movie, Freaky Tales, which I actually watched last night, was really an interesting movie. It's set in Oakland in the 80s. There's a lot of themes in there, like the underdog and all of that. And Too Short was actually in the movie, but the guy that actually plays Too Short, rapping, is a younger guy, but they chose the right guy because he definitely favors him. Those movies that other people might not check out, I'll check them out for you so I can tell you if it's good or not. Them Purple Reels, baby, this is what I do. 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 As I always say, film is life. And what I mean by that, film encompasses all art forms. So it's the greatest level of expression, if you ask me, as far as an artist. And you find people that are excellent in all these different fields and you put it together. Oh, that's a beautiful, that's like, when you have a man and a woman and you create a baby, it's like the greatest expression of love, right? And that's what, with film, with making a song, with everything creative, that's what you're doing. You're making beautiful, creative babies. That's why I call my camera Cannon Johnson. That's my baby. You guys get out there and go see the movies. I always want to encourage people to go to the movie theater because it's about the experience. I know it's comfortable. I love it. I love it. Just I run home just to watch movies again, and it's set up. I got my popcorn maker, all that. But there's nothing like going to the movie theater and having that experience, especially with that movie Sinners, because it was filmed on IMAX cameras. So, it's only right that you go and see it in its original form, basically. So again, props to Ryan Coogler. If people want to get into details about all this, it's demonic and all this kind of stuff, I already said that on another post, but it says in the Bible, be ye not ignorant of the enemy's devices. So it's like, whenever I watch these type of things, I know there's a thing where people are like, you don't want to grieve your spirit and all that. I get that. But, you have the tools in Luke 10:19. Behold, I'm going to say it again. Luke 10:19. Behold, God has given us the power and the authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means harm you. And then you put your name in there. You just make it personal. And that's how you get the prayers through, honey. You got to make it personal. I hope you guys have been doing well. I know I've been out for a second, but I just been handling business and doing my inner work, just basking in the peace and elevating. Sometimes you do have to disconnect, but don't ever think I've forgotten about you. I love you guys, and I appreciate you for checking out. Purple Reels is watching, and know that your girl is doing well. I've been doing the work, y'all. Enjoying life, because life is short. Believe it or not. I can't even count on my hand how many people we lost this year. Condolences to everybody who has lost someone. That feeling really never goes away. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Purple Reels is watching. Film is life, and Purple Reels is watching.